And we are back again in Sept of the Red Branch. Maeve, it's had a day. It's admittedly kind of started with a stomp out last night, but shut up about that. Maeve's been out and about. She did eventually come back around, catch a nap, go to lessons, go do her duties, go do her chiminage, all of that good stuff. But I dare say by dinner time she has swung by the fire hall long enough to pick up food and probably headed back towards the dorms. Made herself a little to go baggy. Something like that.
You can smell the bacon.
Can I smell the bacon?
You can always smell Sean's god awful sandwich.
You know, there's a bit of a glance just because what the fuck bacon? Oh, Sean. Yeah, there's just kind of the glance around and like, okay, where's the bacon?
Bacon and beef. Bacon soft, beef bloody, smothered in butter, in a loaf of bread that's been cut in half crudely.
Oh dear lord. Where is Sean and his sandwich?
Very curiously headed to wherever you are.
Outrageous. Back to the house. Moment.
Meanwhile, we're going to get in a little deeper on this sandwich. So, we're not going to pretend here he hasn't even cut the beef. It's more or less just a rare cooked slab of beef, a steak, if you will. That's not bone in for obvious reasons. It'd be a little difficult to use as a sandwich. And the bread, I mean, white bread is pretty available. Wheat bread is also available. Barley bread's also available. It's probably barley bread, the most available of breads in this land of bread. You know, got a lot of nutrients. It's grainy. This is the early 2000s, so there's definitely a popular conceptualization of Heart Smart, not that he uses it for that purpose. The bacon has to be soggy so you can wrap it. It's more or less pinned in the sandwich, though some of those bacon ties are kind of coming unbacon done as the sandwich progresses. And the real crux of this entire endeavor, why there's so much bread in this meatwich, is the juices. You know, there's fat, there's blood from the rareness of the steak. There's also the runoff from the quickly liquefying butter because of the relative heat of the meat upon which it hath been spread. All of which is caught by the bread, so none of this bounty of nature is ultimately wasted. And while there aren't too many, we'll say too many, just to remain vaguely factual, like vitamins involved, other than the kind of vitamins you get from these meats and butter. Not too many vitamins in comparison to like the vitamin mineral wombo combo in a vegetable. It still has the three macronutrients: protein, fat, and carbohydrates. And in terms of carbohydrate sources, barley bread is it's a pretty good one. You know, there could be arguments made about the abundance of pork and red meat and fucking butter going on. Though there's some dairy, you know, with the butter, some vitamin D. Huh? So, probably not the wisest choice, but not the worst choice. the real miracle here is how cleanly Sean takes each bite, because usually steak has to be cut. Steak doesn't always fight you, especially in its most rare form, but he just manages to take clean bites. There aren't any like Jurassic head shakes to rip the meat free. Though Maeve can just faintly hear in the back of her head what few movies she was allowed to watch as a curious librarian farm woman. Da 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 na na da 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 na na da 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 na 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 na. Oh wow, I really fucked that one up. You get the idea.
What the fuck? Is he just remembering the song, or is he actually going da na na?
No, he's too busy eating, but like when he has to pull his head a little bit to get one chunk of steak free, you just start hearing da na 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 na, and it's not like him saying it; it's the musical score.
Rafe just finally looks aside and does that blink, like, wow, just wow. Just looks at him. Cause man, this sandwich has been an experience for both of them at this point. Ooh. Yeah, there's just the most puzzled side glance, because like here she is with her little, meal to go. So Sean's just marching along with a fucking sandwich, apparently.
Stops in front of you like this was always meant to be.
Are you enjoying the sandwich, Sean?
Yeah.
I did get the faintest impression.
What's going on with you, Strawberry Pop Tart?
Nothing. Just
That is the
lessons.
quietest nothing of lies I've ever heard in my life. Step into my office. He walks into Maeve's room.
She just blinks. And follows, still looks perplexed, maybe a little just. She kind of wants to be annoyed, but it's hard to, because that was followed up by something completely ridiculous. So, that annoyance just doesn't really get purchased. It like flits through as a kind of an afterthought as she follows him into her room.
He pulls out one of the chairs and sits on it and pulls out one across from him, gestures towards it like this is normal.
She kind of points over, like, do you mind if I sit at the table? So, like, wiggles the bag.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And he just, oh my god, the noise. As he pulls the table between the chairs.
There's a cringe, and eventually, like, the kind of arm slap. Sean, these floors are older than America. Jesus.
Huh. I'm sure they've seen worse. Plus, they're like stone.
He still, the, like,
They're stone, Maeve.
gestures.
They're stone. I would have to literally use diamonds or granite
Are your claws?
or my claws or metal. But this, Maeve, this is. Hold on. Let me take a closer look. Rosewood, oddly.
There's a squint. Do you just sight identify wood, or is there a stamp?
No, I just high fucked it. I could be wrong. Finish could be throwing me off.
Okay. She's finally plucks down in her chair and just looking at him like, what? I don't. Food.
What?
I, I mean, nothing, I guess. Just. Okay.
So, as I was saying, Pop Tart.
My Pop Tart.
Because You're sweet on the outside. You have red hair, hence the strawberry. But the internal heat that you've built up over a short cooking time could scald even the mightiest of mouths.
Just she doesn't laugh. Her player is gonna laugh because that was amazing. She's just uh oh oh
To be fair, if Pop Tarts weren't the burning revenge against mankind's hubris for ever daring to cook them, they're sweet on the inside too.
that's very true.
Cooking a Pop Tart is tantamount to reliving the folly that was the Tower of Babel.
You seem to feel a lot of very strong ways about Pop Tart, Sean.
Have you ever had a cooked up Pop Tart? You ever made that mistake?
When I was little.
Didn't make that mistake again, did you?
Mm-mm.
Exactly. You switched to toasted strudels like a rational adult.
Or you just don't heat up your Pop Tarts. The silence.
The silence is real.
You know you can just eat them at room temperature, Sean.
Why would I do that though?
Because they're what's in your house, and if you heat them up, they'll try to kill you.
But that's like taking granulated sugar and just pouring it into your mouth. Have you ever tried to like take something that's normally baked and you figure these are all the separate ingredients? What if I just put them in my mouth?
Sean, a lot of people just eat Pop Tarts right out of the package.
Yeah, well, I'm not one of them.
I see that. Is that mayo or butter? She really just like,
Butter.
Good, because for a second I thought it was very yellow mayo because butter didn't make a lot of sense, but at least it's butter.
I've seen like the yellow mayo around, but like if you notice there's not as much mayonnaise in Ireland as there is like in America.
I hadn't really taken note.
You're using your Theurge smarts to fucking distract me with food. What's going on, Maeve?
I don't know what you want. I did my lessons. I did my chiminage. I did keeper duties.
Okay, great. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. However, I had to cover for the fact that you flipped the fuck out this morning and broke shit, fucking made a huge mess, and I had to do a lot of social deflecting, which is not my forte, but everyone was too awkwarded out to call me on it, so it achieved what I wanted, but god damn it, I didn't like it. So now we're going to visit why that happened so that I can find out what's wrong.
There's kind of like the classically small, kind of evasive shrug as she glances back down to her food, like, "I will just start eating this because this is a good way to avoid this topic." I was just angry.
Okay, we all get pissed. What were you pissed about?
I don't know, just um the mission, the right at the end, the always having to be saved. Cleansing is one of the first rights I learned, Sean. I shouldn't be messing it up.
I mean,
Especially not in front of another Theurge.
Didn't you like do it though?
The third time it failed.
Okay. How about the other times?
I mean, the other times it was fine, but
So did you accomplish the mission?
it wasn't. It was. It'll be fine, but it wasn't really fully clean, and that's what they
It
asked
wasn't
us to
perfect.
do.
No. They wanted us to do a cleansing in the area to suppress the major sources of taint. Is that what happened?
I suppose so, until they probably came through the wall again and just undid it all.
But you did what we came there to do.
Yeah.
Followed our orders. Not to mention, we fulfilled the overall of what the Wormfoe wanted, which was to test their defenses. So we came out having done what we were there to do. Now, as for us being saved, I want you to think for a minute about what happened the last time we were in there and what we had to do. As much as I say it's totally not what happened, about how we totally had to go save Fiona and her group. Because let's be real, that's what happened. Do you think that they harbor anything for us coming to help them?
Well,
Well, your pride stung. Mine too. Because, yeah, we got overwhelmed. It sucked. We were struggling. And on top of that, something that you had full confidence in your ability to do didn't go exactly the way you wanted. So I can see you being a little mad about that, to be honest. I'm gonna ruin. I can understand at a fucking minimum anger, especially when it comes to slow frustration, which I encounter on a daily basis. So are you telling me right now that those two things just kind of pressure cooked over the last, I don't know, like 12, 13 hours and then popped the fuck off in the kitchen, which, mind you, I had to do a severe dash on before like Mrs. O'Shea came in and just started hitting everybody with the newspaper.
I didn't break it on purpose.
I know you didn't. I don't care about the fucking teapot. You could break like a million teapots. I wouldn't give a fuck. I am more concerned with you.
I just.
We can go buy some pottery right now and just smash the shit out of it.
That would be wildly inappropriate and probably feel really good. But,
Feel fucking awesome.
it's finally a faint smile as she just flat admits, you know what? That would actually just be really satisfying to fling random pottery around. Um, but she nods. No, it just the the right feeling. Just I don't know. I just got really angry. It just kind of all bubbled up. I was just so mad.
That makes sense. I mean, like to a normal person, it does not make sense, but rage is rage. Things are going to bug you. I was worried that maybe something else was bothering you.
I mean, a lot of things are bothering me, but they didn't happen right there. I just
No, they didn't, did they?
no.
They just sat inside of you.
A shrug. Dismissive shrug, picks at food, like, huh? Well,
Okay.
disengage.
So I'm going to make a point. And to help illustrate this point, I'm going to show you something that I bought earlier for fun.
There's an inquisitive side glance.
He pulls out a small baggie of balloons.
How did you get balloons?
Well, it turns out that Timmy O'Leary's second cousin's mother runs like a party store down the way. So I just asked him to pick him up something for me. I gave him the money.
Okay. You got balloons.
Yep, same place I got the bubbles from.
You did. The bubbles were pretty surreal, Sean.
I like bubbles.
I like that about you, but that was still very surreal.
I
Never
know.
seen in a room full of bubbles.
Well, now you're about to see in a room below balloon. So,
Okay.
this balloon is your temper. I'm going to pick a balloon the same color as your eyes for fun. So blue. This is a close enough blue to your eyes. This party pack is not very variety-licious when it comes to colors. So you're going to deal with this blue even though it's wildly inaccurate. But it's your temper. Now, right now, nothing is in here, is there? It's just a flaccid balloon. However, something that bothers you that you don't deal with happens. He blows into it a little bit and holds it shut. Now, as you can see, this balloon's not anywhere near its capacity to hold it, right? Look at it. It's just sad. Looks like it's been left out for days, even though I just blew into it. Totally not in any danger of fucking popping. But another thing happens. He blows more. And another thing. I'm getting lightheaded. Give me a second. You know what? Actually, this is perfectly good. It holds like this for a long, long time, and you've convinced yourself that because nothing's happened, that everything's okay. But if you'll notice, this balloon is like way near capacity. So the next thing happens. And this thing, it's weird. It's not as upsetting as the others. It's a little thing in the bigger picture, but and fucking Sean, man, his willingness to undergo things for the sake of his people.
Please tell me he like pulls out a no shit knife or something. Just
No, it's worse than that. He blows it past his capacity and it explodes in his face.
there's the kind of jump wince because a balloon popping is always a balloon popping. No matter what kind of baller you are. It's just
He's left staring blankly with the like broken end of the balloon in his fucking mouth.
point taken.
Just kind of politely spits it down in front of him. Pah. Oh, that was stupid. You get my idea. So, having been walked through psychology with the majesty of balloon art, can you understand now why I would prefer you talk to me about things that bother you?
Talking won't fix them.
It may not fix the problem, no. He pulls out another balloon. But observe. I've been hanging out with Albert too much as he just blows up the balloon again to like a regular amount. Remember this state you were in before where nothing, like we weren't even on the precipice of the pop?
Yep.
Let me show you what starts to happen when you talk through things that bother you, even if you can't change the reality of the situation. And he lets his fingers out enough to let the air out some. Oh, holy shit. Thing's in a better state than it was before, huh? Just lets the rest of the air out. He's made his point.
It just makes that balloon farting noise as it deflates.
Oh, absolutely. You hear that? That's the sound of you talking about your problems.
I hope that's not what I sound like.
That's what everybody sounds like when they're unpacking their shit. Don't take it personally.
I mean, what am I supposed to say? I want to go home, but I don't want to leave the people here in the state they're in. There's no fixing that. I want to know that my pack's safe. My old pack. I didn't even get to say goodbye. I want to see my parents. I want to forget about that woman in the tunnels. I want to forget that going in the tunnels scares me, that the rats terrify me. They don't even bite me anymore, Sean. They just try to drag me away. I don't. I keep seeing things. Some of them are real, some of them are memories. None of the memories are mine. Some of them aren't real, and it's really hard to tell which is which. I heard a horn blow that I can't prove. I don't know how to prove because no one else has ever heard it, and some of these people have lived here their whole lives. How am I going to make them hear something they've never heard? And I mean, yeah, she's brooming.
She's brimming.
Yeah, like the eyes are filling up. You can tell it's like meltdown is imminent. You can see the countdown happening.
He waits for it to happen then.
And yeah, eventually, like the tears just kind of start. The snuffling starts. It's just kind of like I want to go home. Yeah, meltdown.
Sean will get up and he'll walk over and he will give Maeve a hug.
I don't know if Sean was counting on the intensity of the koala levels that take place. Like she hugs on back tightly. She does not seem to have any reservations about crying straight into his jacket, into his shirt.
Sean lets this go on the entire time. Occasional back pat pat.
Is he just standing in front of her? Does
I
he like
mean, he's actively hugging her, just letting her cry it out.
it? It's one of those things where it's a boiling point, so it takes a hot minute to get all that pressure out. It takes a distressing amount of time of a little girl kind of ugly crying. But eventually she kind of just runs out of the energy for it and finally, very slowly just coasts down to snuffling. Still clinging. I don't know how to be what they want me to be.
Neither do I.
I don't even know. I've heard some stories. I know that, you know, that my great granduncle is Brunmakun, but I don't know what that means.
You consider trying to find out?
I've been reading, but every time I ask, they ask what it means to me, and it's just my name.
Okay. Well, how about this, Maeve? How about instead of worrying about what people want you to be or what your name is, you just focus on being the best that you can and taking care of yourself and your pack mates?
I was trying to.
Well, that's a good place to be. Look, nothing's ever going to be perfect, Maeve. It's just not. If there's anything my whole life has taught me, nothing's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Hell, nothing's even fair, Maeve. But we're alive, and the only choice we have is to keep living.
I know. That doesn't change that some days you just. I just. I mean, I want my mom.
I wanted parents that were in my life. It hurts. I get it. All I can say is that when things are this bad, when you need somebody to talk to, and maybe you need somebody to talk to, you can turn at least to me. I'd like to hope.
I thought you'd laugh at me.
Why would I ever do that?
Because what kind of crew says they want their mom?
One that wants their mom. We're pack mates, Maven. I think I need to unpack what that means to me for you to fully get what I'm trying to tell you. Ready to learn a thing or two about me?
There's nodding and some face rubbing.
All right, sit down. Have a Snickers.
He literally produces a fucking Snickers, doesn't he?
Yes.
She, you know what? At this point, she wants to sit next to him, so it's probably them sitting on the side of her bed type thing.
Here you go. Have a Snickers.
She has a Snickers. She doesn't. She can't even unpack how weird it is that he's just magically has Snickers. But you know what? Apparently, Sean really likes Snickers, so she will obediently open it and listen, nibble on it.
Mrs. Catherine gives me one every time I make sure her kids get home in time for supper. I have a lot of Snickers.
There's the Bemused nodding.
So I came from a big family, Maeve. Like my parents were there, all right, like they were present, I guess. But around the time I came into the world, I was definitely not planned, and there were 10 other kids in the house with me, all of whom came from the unholy union that was Mr. and Mrs. Houlihan.
That is a lot of kids.
I have so many siblings that I don't actually know all of them. They have kids that have moved out of the house by the time I was even born.
That is,
Um, I've got some theories, but point is, I was not a welcome addition to the family. And they were busy because you kind of have to be when you have that many kids, some of whom actually made it to college. So I was just kind of there. I was an obligation. Fuck, not even all my siblings like me. And it sucked. You know, it sucked being in a family, but not really feeling like I was in a family. I did a lot of stupid shit because I was mad. Honestly, wasn't fair the way I got treated, and not just fucking at home. Like I didn't have a great go of it at school either. You know, teachers are overburdened. They don't really give that much of a shit, or they give too much of a shit in too many directions. Fucking nobody. Everybody's got their own selfish reasons for doing shit. Nobody gives a fuck, you know. And why should they? Got their own problems. People either lean on them or want something from them, and I just kind of fell through the cracks. Wasn't fair and it made me mad. So I did a bunch of stupid shit that made people look at me as somebody who is probably going to spend a lot of his life in prison. And honestly, that was the direction I was headed. It's just another bad kid. Plenty like me. And then I became a guru because I picked a fight with a guy who didn't like that he was losing and had a strategy for when he was losing a fist fight, which was to pull a knife. And that didn't go so well for me. And then it didn't go so well for him. So, dragged me up to 7th Sentinel. Don't know why I didn't get pulled in the 7th green. But 7th Sentinel it was. Get a finish and when to go fucking hate each other. No idea why they share a sept or how. I guess one of the side hadn't quite figured out how to kill all the other ones off. So there they were. Cub class. There were 20 of us. 2 dead parents.
20?
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot when we had 9.
Should happen. Ridiculously large cub class. I'll be real. Not a lot of room for people giving a fuck either. Seen that you kind of had to make your own way in the world, right? Well, I didn't grow up there, so I didn't have a lot of fucking friends. I got the shit end of a lot of sticks. Wasn't fair. Pissed me off. So, even there, it wasn't like I really had friends or family. Probably owing no small part to my winning fucking personality. So, I did something reckless, and I joined the Fianna. I got shipped here to a whole universe of people who, you know, I'm not going to say that they don't care about shit. They care a lot. But the thing is, they care about their own shit, or they care for their own reasons. And who could blame them? After all, each one of them has been through tragedies that you and I can't even begin to fucking imagine. The older, the worse it gets. So if they are going to give a fuck, it's for their own reasons. They don't specifically give a fuck about us. They just give a fuck about the idea of us or the situations we're in. And I don't really, if I have to be honest with myself, begrudge them that. Because of what they've been through and the kind of lives they've led. And I know that's been registering to you that it's not necessarily they give a fuck about you, but they give a fuck about that MacFion name. And on some level, that pisses you off. It's not fair. Same reason I get written off a lot. Because the exact opposite reason. Yeah, it's not fair. It makes me mad. Really mad. Madder than I should be all the time. I think a lot about how few fucks people genuinely give about people outside their own packs or their own causes in this place. And it drives me fucking crazy. And the worst part is that the few times that I've given that any kind of voice or anything inside myself that isn't what other people want around here, a voice, I get told to shut the fuck up. Or worse, I get hit. I think physical violence would be an old friend to me by now. It's really not. I don't think I ever got used to it, not on any real level, but it's a way of life here. And when we get into shit, tips with these other people, I know how outmatched we are. I know I have to pick my fights. Why do you think I sit in back and grip my fucking teeth so much? I don't want to get us all fucking beaten half to death. Not if I can avoid it, and the times I can't avoid it, I'd rather take it on myself. You saw me do that. I didn't do that shit just for my pride. I did it for you too, man. I have a fucking permanent scar on my face for you. And you know what? I'm not mad at you about it. I'm not. Shit had to happen. Fucking had to. Because honestly, just the whole fucking thing wasn't fair. I can't stand that. When I can do things about it, I do. And when I can't, I just fucking can't. That's why I went and stood beside the children of the oak. Not because I particularly fucking like them, but the shit that gets heaped on the McNamara's is not fucking fair, and I just couldn't fucking stand for it. But the one group of people on Earth, Gaia help me, that I feel like I can be myself around is you guys, my pack. Because you're the closest thing that I'm ever going to have to a family. Closest thing. I know I don't always show it, but I care about you all a lot. So no, Maeve, I'm not going to act like those fucking blockheads out there. I'm not going to manipulate you or demean you because you hurt and you dared tell me. You're my packmate. All I want is for you to succeed. All I want to do is help you.
Yeah, she's brewing it at some point, especially there at the end. The Snickers has been forgotten. It's about half eaten. She's nibbled on it and eventually kind of lost interest listening to him talk, and finally just kind of drops it in her lap and ends up, he ends up with little Thayer's wrapped around his middle, just hugging. I just think they're all so, they're angry and scared, and I think a lot of them feel guilty. But that doesn't make it okay. I do. I do give a shit. I do. I care about you. I wouldn't want to just leave you. That's why I feel. I do want to go home. But at the same time, I can't. Not just because they've told me I can't, but I can't leave you. God help Kara if we weren't here. I don't I don't know what Seamus is doing half the time, but I couldn't leave him behind either. I couldn't leave all these people who are not always the nicest, but they're hurting. We'll get better. Cat is a thing, you know? I could try.
Fucking knew it was a thing.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna ask if a cat spirit would knock tea off a table. But yeah, it's a thing.
And can you imagine if that's our chiminage? If we have to look people in the eye and just knock things off tables?
That would be the best chiminage ever.
Oh my god, it'd be so worth the beating.
Yeah, it would. But yeah, cat is a thing, and you know
Just
what? I think we should train together. Not just like we do already. Not just, I use this weapon and you use that weapon. But together.
no, that's for real. I was thinking about that.
What if we and she just nuzzles up by his side, probably still has the arm hooked around his back. What if we ended up, you know, like the Children of the Oak did and had some thing like, I don't know, two of us with spears, like boar's tusks.
It's a
Boar would
thought.
like it, and he might bless it.
It's a thought. I don't know so much about spears, to be honest with you. Like, I've been
Oh,
thinking about this a
whatever.
lot. We fight in a lot of super tight spaces.
Mm, I guess even if two of you had swords and the other two used their claws, it would still be like tusks.
Yeah. No, apparently Kara is very into swords as well, so it's doable. Can someone please explain to me whatever's going on with her?
What?
She's developed a strange following.
I keep. She finally rubs the back of her head. Um, I'm not 100% sure. Uh, I'm sure there's a reason.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a lesson there.
yeah, I will have my own office talk with her at some
Okay.
point to figure that out, but that is for another time. And like nothing's getting violent, and frankly, I'm so used to these strange bouts of just public insult at this point that I'm just gonna let it slide.
I think maybe it's. I mean, it keeps happening. When I go on walks.
Yeah, when I get the mental energy, I'll ask her about it. Kind of my brief version of my life story to you was more than I usually talk.
Thank you
One for.
for telling me.
Oh, yeah, no big.
Actually, the more I think about it, she like rubs the back of her head. Every time I go on a walk, it all kind of happens behind me. I think she's I mean, she's been following me, I guess, and
The fuck?
I wander a lot. It's when I don't know what to do, I wander this out, and I wonder if maybe her has been following me a lot, and I usually end up talking to Daniel.
Which, if she has been shadowing you, would set off his. Oh, okay, I'm beginning to get a picture here.
Mm.
Just imagine with me for a few moments, because these are the kind of machinations that I must live with every time I rise up and then lay down to sleep. We're going to work under the theory that Kara, for whatever reason, has been shadowing you a lot. Okay, let's start with that.
Which means she's shadowing me and Daniel a lot.
Uh huh.
And so now they're shadowing her.
I could only imagine if Daniel, after all of the recent McTighe related problems, spotted her, how he might feel.
I I think it's just a lesson because if they do it to her enough, she'll stop doing it to other people. I mean, even
Well,
Halfdane's in on it now.
I'm sure people do love communal activities around here. I am certain this is a wonderful alternative given the fact that we have been banned from pounding each other's faces in like normal.
It it's
It's,
a
cr-
very bragabash way to make
it's
a point.
creative.
She kind of smiles.
It
It's not
is,
like they're being mean. They're
it
just.
is deeply fucking embarrassing, but it is creative.
I don't think they're trying to embarrass her. They're just trying to drive the point. No one likes being followed. Nobody's being mean about it. They're just doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Besides,
Just rubs his forehead.
looks over. It's not like they don't give each other just as much shit as they give us. It's not like they're being nasty. They're just making the point.
Jesus, I'm just reliving watching him drag around by the fucking hair.
Apparently, it's happened to all the Galliards. Don't. Not everything's bad. Sometimes it's just big and loud.
Sweet fuck, by the hair.
Yeah, that looked really painful. But I mean, at the same time, it means he's done it to Daniel. It means he's done it. He said even, or no, she said even twice to some of them. It's about getting them fired up.
I mean, I would believe after such a fucking activity, I'd be fired up. I'd want to take somebody's fucking head off. You color me unsurprised given the fact that we're a warrior people. I would want to go out and kill the first person the Wormfolk told me to after that shit.
And I bet after that you wouldn't hesitate to just jump up on a
Kill
table and
people?
say what you needed to say.
Oh, that too.
I think that was the point. Is
Yeah,
just do it.
shame, shame works wonders.
Maybe it's not about shame. Everyone was excited. They weren't. I mean, it was rough. She kind of like rubs the back of her head, like, ugh. It was rough, but it wasn't about making her ashamed. It was about showing her that sometimes you need to get everyone's attention and it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes you just need to get the attention. She's a Galliard. She's gonna have to stand up in front of a lot of people, and sometimes it's the story's gonna fail or the song's gonna go wrong. But that doesn't matter. You can't just stop because you're afraid of embarrassing yourself. get fired up and just do it.
Oh, I would like to know what spurred this on, but it's kind of moot now.
Why is it moot? You can ask. You can ask her. You could probably ask Gravel Walk, and he'd do it what Galliards do best, and he'd tell you.
I'll keep it in the pack. I have a very, very specific way of doing things. You praise people in public, and anything that is short of positive, you save for private. I am not going to beat on or demean any of you in public to satisfy my fucking ego.
You know, sometimes making a point is worth it. It's gonna. I know this sounds kind of contrary, but even back home, my dim father became my pack alpha, and one of his challenges was to give rightful punishment, and it was me. I had been sneaking off steps with one of the kinfolk. And, I mean, later, he was one of the crew. And he did call me out. And I had to hit my back for every single person who wasn't another cub for a month. But it made the point. And I'd been wrong.
It's just not how I do shit, Maeve.
Okay. Just. She finally reaches up, like to kind of to mess with his hair, even, just ruffle it. Just don't think I'm gonna hate you if you do. I won't be mad at you for telling me when I'm wrong because I'm wrong.
Maeve, I've already
Even if
done
it's in
that.
front of other people.
That shit. Trust me. If I think you fucked up, you're gonna find out about it.
Okay.
But I don't do that shit in front of the other packs.
Even
I
if
think I
I
was
did
so.
something wrong to them?
I'll put it this way. Do you see any of them not immediately just line the fuck up or go right or wrong on us?
Well,
Even if one of them fucking started it, which they have.
yeah. I've also seen Chris smack Daniel in the back of the head like 500,000 times now.
And we'll leave that to fucking Philadoxis.
There's a bit of a smile.
Fucking head slappy motherfuckers, Jesus. Don't give me brain damage.
He didn't hit him that hard.
Anyway, I've already seen how I call out what I think is fucking wrong, alright? Pretty sure I let you and Kara have it pretty fucking hard when I didn't like what you were doing.
Yeah. Awkward back of the hair ruffle.
So don't worry about that. It's just, I don't do that shit in front of the other packs. We're one fucking team in front of the other packs. No fucking with each other. No dissent. I think I've proven half a dozen times over. I would fucking go to the knuckle for any of you. But if there's a problem, then we'll fucking work it out amongst ourselves. If something's wrong, then We're going to trust each other and we're going to work it out. What we're not going to do is keep shit to ourselves to the point where we snap. Not in this pack. We're the only fucking people that can fully rely on one another. Possibly in this world. That shit's special to me.
Yeah. You know, I don't think you give them enough credit.
Oh.
I don't know, like Albert and Fiona. I know they give you shit, but everyone here gives everyone shit. I think they really like
Look.
you.
Look, I fucking pal around with them, but it's not the same. I don't know. Honestly, I don't believe for a second it would go to the same length. As much as I like Albert and as many times as he's helped me out, I've seen what happens when I step out of what his idea of the line is.
Or when he just gets as mad as anyone else and snaps at people. He's a person too. Doesn't mean that he thinks that you don't matter and that he can just shut you down with a word. Just means he's not perfect either. None of us are. Even the best of us aren't perfect. And we're gonna say stupid, hurtful things, and we're gonna do stupid, hurtful things. But it doesn't mean we don't care. I've said horrible things to Kara, but I say them because I care. And because I don't know how else to make her hear me. I get mad. And I figure maybe if I say something that's hard enough and true enough, she'll have to believe it. And she'll have to listen. Doesn't mean that I hate her. Doesn't mean that I think
Yeah,
she's not worth my time.
I gotta figure out what's going on with her.
I don't know.
There's some shit going on with her and her family, and I can't put my finger on it. Obviously, I wasn't in the room for something.
I mean,
But that whatever it is very obviously fucking with her. And has she talked to you yet? By the way, about whatever she
not.
saw when she was zonked out.
I mean, not really.
Because I told her to talk to you about that shit.
We did talk some. Just we didn't
No,
get
it's not going to
into
be
it.
instant. Got it.
I
He
think.
just nods like, yeah, okay.
I mean, well, think about it. Like, think about what she's done. She's married into the McTighes and came all the way here to be close to them. But, I mean, it wasn't a nice thing to say, but I said it. She wasn't here when these things happened to that family. And acting like she has every right to be as angry or trying so hard to be one of them, I just think she might be going about it the wrong way. I think she wants to be accepted by the family she married into and doesn't know how.
It's a solid and believable theory, Maeve. We'll work on it. Like, for just puts his hand up. Just work on getting her to open up to you. Because I gave a nudge from my end, and she is way too proud to admit certain things to me. She hasn't quite gotten into the family spirit yet of this pack.
I want to talk to Rory too.
We might want to hold off on that.
Oh, not like that. Just think about it. The only times you've seen him have been before a battle, after a battle, when he's angry about something. And I already go to the McTighe Manor because it has one of the libraries. It has,
I don't know. You
admittedly,
told
the
me.
only
Good job.
normal library. The Weird Tower has a lot of books too, but I can't read most of them. But I just want to meet him as a
Okay.
person.
Um, I don't know. There's a lot about the family politics here that I'm gonna be straight with you. I just don't fucking get it.
It, if you try to look at it like it's all based in logic, it's not going to make any sense. But I saw it's one of the things that I I don't know. Even just seeing it after it all happened and watching as if I was not really there and just standing and watching. That attack was horrible. And I saw that Christopher McNamara and Rory McTighe they were friends. They were close. It looked to me like Christopher was courting his sister. They were very close. But that happened. And I wonder if all that big loud bluster is just someone who's still afraid of what they saw, or putting the blame where it's easiest to put it, or just maybe he just feels guilty and he's lashing out because his whole family was there and he saved two McNamara kinfolk.
I would just say be careful about the terms you approach him on
I just want to talk to him
and
as
what
a
you
person.
broach.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
I'm not. I just
I mean,
want to talk to him.
look, we've earned some points with them just based on our actions, but while I don't understand all of this, I understand that who you're seen talking to is a pretty big deal. You've got the McNamara's ear, man. Like maybe not Chris, but his that mom likes you, man. And I don't know what it's gonna do to her heart if she sees you talking to the man that fucks with her day.
I don't think Rory bothers the kinfolk.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
I
But
mean, I'll talk to her too. I'm going to go have tea with them at some point. It's just, how can I possibly understand how people, who they are and how they feel and what they care about if I don't talk to them? I can't just not talk to people because it'll look one way or another. I'm still just a Cleith. I'm a Macfion, but I'm still just a Cleith. It would be really, really silly of me to not talk to a whole family. Besides, that's a. I don't like some of the things I've seen, but that is still a pack that we're going to have to fight beside, and people we're going to have to be willing to stand back to back with. And
I
Nua's good people.
didn't say nothing about leaving anybody.
No, it just that's why I can't just not talk to them. And if I don't talk to them, I'm just deciding to believe what I've decided is true about them and not giving them a chance. Everyone here suffered.
It's like I said, Maeve. I don't begrudge them people being the way I see them. I don't think that like I'm a hero or anything in the midst of all this shit. It just is the way it is to me. That means I treat it a certain way. You
Finally reaches up
guys,
and to like to no shit, just take him by the cheeks and look at him square on. Been with the Get Fenris in the Wendigo too long, Sean. It's not always about hating and how, I mean, I'm sure with the Wendigo, it's how much or little you hate someone. And the people you like are the people you hate the least. But, and I've met several Get Fenris. I was in a pack with a Get Fenris, and I think he was a little jovial compared to your usual Get Fenris. But even they give a shit. He broke my leg once. Or no, he just beat the shit out of me. But he did it because he cared. And it was the only way that he knew to teach a lesson. Not because he wanted to hurt me. He wouldn't leave me alone afterwards until he started making me laugh. It's not, to them, it's not personal. And here, it's, I mean, have you ever noticed? Have you ever felt that way? Like, things that don't bother other people bother you more? Things that, when you're sad, you're really sad. When you're happy, you're really happy. When you're angry, you're really angry. More than another Arun.
everything bothers me, Maeve. But I just can't let shit get out of hand with me.
I don't want you to let it get out of hand. I just want you to let yourself feel and to let people see you feel.
That hasn't worked out for me so good in this fucking place.
It hasn't worked out that bad.
Fucking,
When you get flack or you get a response, it's not always bad.
like,
Hell, maybe they just want to make sure that they can see that you feel, and that's why they poke.
that's fucked up.
It is. It is. But the one thing I heard over and over, even back home, is that the Fianna are, in a way, they're, as much as they're warriors, they're the heart of the nation. They feel. Have you ever met a Fianna who didn't take everything to 100? Didn't show how they feel? And you don't. I don't think they're trying to be mean. I just think they're trying to help, trying to find it. Even if it's getting angry, that's still feeling.
Look, these people are not fucking interested in my feelings. I've experienced it almost every time that I've expressed what's going on in my head in public. Fucking the few times I've gone on is just because, like, I figured out what they wanted to see and I did it.
Don't buckle down. Let it out.
I can't fight everybody, Maeve.
No. But when you're angry, let yourself be angry. When you feel like you're right,
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, and the only way to make them listen is to fucking fight, and that is not something I can do all fucking day, Arun or not.
You don't have to fight.
I have a hard enough fucking time trying to fucking clean up after whatever the fuck. Somebody said something to somebody, and now we're all squared. Fucking... I can't even imagine what I would have had on my hands if I had decided to fucking take it outside with the fucking primals, Philodox. Only turn around and probably be dealing with their Galliard. Or God forbid, Sasha. I can't even imagine the fight I would have had on my hands. I mean, sure, I could square against Daniel. I've seen him fight. I could take his ass. Orla would be right around the corner.
I mean, yes, Orla would be right around the corner. If you did something wrong, I don't know why you'd need to take Daniel, but if Daniel said something and you felt it was wrong, you can say what you need to say and you can have your spat, but
I don't have the energy to fight all these fucking people, and that's all I want to do most of the time.
does it have to be a fight?
When you get pushed, yeah, usually.
I'll stand beside you. But there's no reason you should have to fight with Daniel.
It's
There's
just an
no
example,
reason you
Maeve.
should have to fight with any of them.
It was just... fuck.
You can disagree without having to fight.
Yeah.
The only thing we need to keep close is the McNamara's have been through enough. And when time comes that people want to pull some shit, we can just stand beside him and that's enough. I'm sorry. I guess a lot of it just don't be afraid to say what you need to say and I'll stand beside you. Okay?
Yeah. I just pick the right times to say it. Right now ain't the right time, man. We get a body count, we get rank, we'll get some leeway.
Haven't you seen how they all buck up and stuff? It doesn't always end in fights. Sometimes it's just saying, I stand for this. And you can.
Those are people with history and rank that we do not have.
Does that mean you stand for it any less?
I mean, shit plays out a little different.
I'm with you.
I know. Still means that with our standing, shit plays out a little different. We're not in a position to buck. We're in a position where either we're quiet or we're fucking goring people.
Don't forget the part where you lower your head and you snort and you stamp the ground. Warning, still a warning.
Don't mean shit coming from us. To make the same point that any of these established packs make, to make the same point,
It's not
I don't
about...
get to just stop at bucking. I have to put a motherfucker down beat his face till it's unrecognizable, pick him up by the hair,
Sean,
show him to everybody around, and ask who the fuck else wants to make a point to me.
we're not. You don't. You don't.
Like I said, we get some more weight behind us. It doesn't have to come to that. Maybe I can just jump up and down a couple times. Right now, with who we are, that's either where it has to go or not the fuck at all. And many, many times now I have chosen not at all.
But you still stood behind people you backed.
Yes, I
Hell,
did.
look at Cackling Thunder. You
fight.
didn't have to drag him around and hold him up by the hair. You
I also
just
lost.
It doesn't matter. He didn't do that to you either. And now he wants you to come over for tea.
That was an official challenge. Shit's different. Shit gets a lot more constrained when it's an official challenge.
You've got as much to learn and unlearn as I do. It'll be really nice the day that people aren't asking what kind of sept I grew up in. And I think it'll be a good day when that happens for you.
Be a fucking great day when motherfuckers don't keep trying to press me. But until then, she stands up. Till then, I gotta choose when I want to be quiet. When it's time to finally fucking gore somebody.
We're not gonna gore. Members of
No,
this
we're not. I need my hands.
Sean!
My hands, Maeve. She'll cut off my hands.
She will!
I bet she has an oversized sword that I haven't even seen.
I mean, probably.
I bet it's huge. And not just my hands, Maeve. Dermot's hands.
Well, then
Much more value than mine.
You know what? I dare say, Sean, this is a very good time for you to learn
It won't make
how to
any difference
say
with
and
Sasha. He'll
do
still kill men with his stumps.
what you need to say and do
He'll just be like,
without
just
resorting
another
to
day.
a fight.
He won't even need to like use utensils like a normal person. He'll just will them
I
to
see
his stumps.
me.
He'll just will them to his stumps, Maeve.
Points with half a Snickers.
He'll stare at the spoon, and the spoon will be intimidated into affixing itself to his stump.
Sean, there's no
He'll
better
do it.
time.
He'll do it.
Sean!
And we'll watch, and we'll be in fucking awe.
Maybe.
I bet Sasha could stare hard enough that an entire room would just be like the fucking living furniture from Beauty and the Beast and just do this shit for him. And then he'd stare harder like they weren't fully doing their job, and they'd start nervously singing Be Our Guest.
I mean,
Dude, you know what's a really fucked up thought? There's a point where the Beast like fucks up that whole room, right? And breaks all that furniture. But then the magic changed and all the furniture turned back to people, right? So what happened to the
not
furniture
all
in
the
that room?
furniture was sentient. There was
What
furniture
happened to
in
the furniture in that
castle.
room, Maeve?
There was furniture in the castle before all the
The
people
blood
turned
on the
into
beast's
extra
hands, Maeve.
furniture. Sean!
Mourn our dead, mourn our dead. Oh dear God, please mourn our dead. No one will ever remember them otherwise.
Face palms. Sean, look at what people are doing. Look at what's happening with Kara, even. If ever there was a time to learn to make your point without goring someone, this is the time to do it.
Oh God. You know the worst would be from Albert? He would never let me live it down.
What?
Now I've got fucking stumps for hands, kid. What am I gonna do with these? Because
Albert,
I've used the thing for this.
Don't punch anyone. Maybe you'll have to use your words. Looks over,
He invests
prepared
a
to
weird
duck.
amount. She doesn't. He invests a weird amount of time in me.
It's almost like maybe he likes you and friends invest time and effort in friends. Maybe he gives a shit, like I said earlier.
Mm.
Maybe he appreciates all the effort you put into keeping him in the loop.
Oh, why
Not
did you tell
just from
Daniel?
the perspective of a Fostern, but the perspective of someone who likes to be remembered and thought of.
Uh,
And I wasn't thinking straight.
you weren't. I really shouldn't hold that against you. It's okay.
I'm still. Sean, I'm scared of so much of what's happening. Sometimes.
Me too. I know. Shock. But me too. Believe me. Fear is an old friend at this point. But we've got each other. We're just going to have to fucking deal with it. I'm going to go lay down and wait until somebody's caused something to happen that will require me to rise up again.
I mean, at this rate, she like leans over to look out the window.
Oh, no.
It might just become
No.
a full blown party following Car everywhere she goes.
Yeah, this is starting to
Smile.
really concern me.
Why?
It's a lot of people.
And they're having fun.
Yeah, that's not what I'm worried about.
So, what are you worried about?
Very tired of being embarrassed.
Stop being embarrassed. No one's embarrassing you.
No, but they're embarrassing a member of my pack, and I take that shit personally.
I don't think even Kara is as upset as you are.
Well, good. That means she's learning.
It's.
Be a
Jesus,
very
John.
large jump in maturity. God damn it!
Were there any Fiona on your sept at all?
No, I had to go out for that shit.
Oh, Sean.
I had to abscond
Did you even know what you were
with
signing
the
up
help
for?
of an Ulrichsen. Because the person I beat up was a Trimbyson and they thought it was funny.
I don't know either of those names. I just know the Trigvassons.
They're big names in the Geta Fenris.
I'll take your word for it.
But he introduced me to a Fianna, and that dude was weird as shit and festooned in bones, some of which I'm pretty sure were human.
And you thought that.
I joined the Fianna out of spite.
Well, you better learn to be a Fiona.
Because they kept calling me little Fianna boy because my last name's Houlihan. Which, if you think back on it, is really politically incorrect of them to do, but fuck them.
My right master doubted me so much that he asked me what tribe I wanted to join.
Sean Houlihan in Little Fianna Boy.
Oh my god.
Coming to a theater near you.
Why can't you just do that when people are doing. She like gestures out the window. That!
I'm not good with people.
But you are. You just don't let yourself be.
I'm okay with you guys, not good with people.
It's because you shut down. What you're doing now is. It's fine. You don't have to hide it behind the pack housing door. You're fun. You're funny. You have a sense of humor. You just turn it off every time you leave. Stop it.
God, there's more of them now.
Mm-hmm. She
Why
like
is
leans
there
to look
always
out the
more of
window,
them?
smiling. Because at this
We're
point,
like
it's
in the middle of war death battles.
because that's exactly why. Do you want to sit here and think about the war death battles, Sean, or would you rather be doing
That is
a
what I was
conga
doing before I came
line
to console you.
with? She leans over, glow sticks, and I'm pretty sure someone's wearing a party hat. It's probably Halfdan. I mean, he's not
Told you,
wearing a shirt, but he's
there
wearing a
is a
party
kinfolk
hat.
that runs a party, so it's how I get these things.
I mean, at this point, I won't be very surprised if they're already wheeling around a keg, Sean. Sometimes you just have to be happy when you can be, even if it's something stupid.
You know, in a way, Kara's brought so much joy to people being the butt of a joke. Still very embarrassing. How is she not frenzied?
Because maybe she sees that it's funny and in good fun, and that it's ridiculous and not personal. It's just making a point.
Oh, there's Seamus.
She grins.
Oh, that is not a united front, mister.
It's fun.
Oh, you motherfucker. That is skirting a line.
No, it's not.
Oh, goddamn it.
It's just having fun with the people around you.
It's a migraine.
Sean, she stands up, like comes around in front of him and takes him by the cheeks. Sean.
Ah, you keep grabbing my fucking face.
She leans in, like mushing his cheeks.
You know, this part that I got from Sasha hurts when it rains, which is always.
Live every day to the fullest. Sometimes you have to make up a reason to be happy. Because it's better to remember being happy than being sad. Would you rather spend days down in the mud thinking about the horrible things we're going to have to do, or know that there's a plan and just enjoy the time you can?
Spend every day preparing for the next time so that maybe you'll all come out of it alive.
And that's what training is for. But we're not training right now.
How are we all alive? How is Seamus alive? That was reckless.
He is a lucky bastard, and I don't know, but he's very good Ragabash.
That was so reckless. We destroy like every room we fight in. You notice that?
Mm-hmm. We're Guru. We break things.
We do.
We kill things and break things.
We hurt people and break shit.
It's like our one true calling is break shit.
Woof.
Come on. Snag him by the hand and starts doing the little
going
thumbs.
to sleep. Because my tomorrow starts at the 3 a.m.
Why?
Because training.
What are you training for at 3 a.m.?
Murder.
We train for murder later in the day. It doesn't have to be 3 a.m.
I am in a rune. I train double for murder all day because it's my only job.
Alright, Namathayard and I spend a lot of time with spirits, but I still don't get up at 3 a.m. unless I need to greet the dawn.
3 a.m. is when I do my breathing.
You could do your breathing at any time of day, Sean.
But it's the point of day where almost no one else is awake except for maybe Bilberry. I think I've seen him sneaking the fuck around fucking Bilberry. But that's when I do my fucking breathing when nobody's there to bother me. No one's even awake to yell at Kara.
You could do it in your room before you leave your bed.
I wonder if the McTags get up extra early to yell at Kara.
Oh my god. Sean.
What?
Have fun.
Breathing is fun.
That is fun. She points out. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Kara's just straight up leading a conga line, because why not?
Look, I got drunk yesterday.
Did you have fun?
I got really drunk. I don't remember much else.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna let it
I woke
pass
up
this
under my
time.
bed.
Okay, then. Well, you drank a lot. Did you have fun? Even just drinking with the others? Did you at least have fun?
It's
Did you
alright.
let yourself have fun?
I mean, like, I drank till I couldn't feel feelings.
That is a lot of drinking. I have never drunk so hard that I didn't feel feelings. In fact, usually when I drink, I feel even more
It's
feelings,
about
and it
4
gets
drinks
really
past.
confusing.
It's about 4 drinks past when you can't feel your face.
And then there's the dancing that happens when you've drunk until you're feeling things, and
I didn't dance that time. Seamus is busy like doing the fucking mamushka on the tables. But I am not as nimble as Seamus, and I vaguely remember that there was a log tossing of some variety. I think I won.
good.
But I legit don't remember most of that shit. I drank something and it was like, ooh, I don't think I've ever drank something this strong before. And then there was a blur, and then I woke up.
I'll have to ask around. Smiling. I mean, even I lost track of you after a while.
Should just smoke weed with Sasha.
That, yeah,
Like I say that I don't really like weed, to be honest with you.
why not?
I don't know. I just don't like it.
At least it doesn't make you throw up.
Shrugs. I don't know, man. It's just not my thing.
Can you not be surly enough when you're smoking?
Oh my god.
She makes a little pouty face.
To bed I am going, Maeve.
Fine. I'm joining the cuddling.
You have fun doing that. I'm going to read myself a bedtime story.
Are you?
Yes. Chapter 1 of the Iliad.
You know what? Good.
When I can't sleep, I read the Iliad. Knocks me right the fuck out. I've never finished the Iliad.
Oh my. I'll bring you some more books. And I promise
I don't
not to
know. The
try to
Iliad
make
does the trick
you.
every single fucking time.
Not for going to sleep.
Yeah, for going to sleep. I
No,
barely get
there's.
past Hear Me, O Muses.
Oh my god. Go to bed, Sean.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to read about Achilles being a little bitch.
Why are you like this?
I'm Achilles and I'm easily offended. Fuck you, Agamemnon. No, fuck you. Oh, fuck me then. And just
Sean!
go straight in the tent like, I'm in the tent. I'm so mad I'm not going to contribute to anything. Wait, what do you mean my boyfriend's dead? And then he runs out there like, my boyfriend! And then he stabs the guy who's fake Hector. And the guy's like, I'm not even Hector. I don't give a fuck. And then
Sean,
fucking later, fucking Hector's like, all right, I gotta fucking, oh shit, I'm scaring my kid with my crazy helmet. I'll take off the crazy helmet. Sorry, little kid. That's okay, Dad. And then they hang out, and then he's like, I'm gonna fight you, Achilles. And Achilles is like, I'm a fire my laser. And Hector's like, fuck this, and runs around the city like 3 fucking times. I can't even imagine being the fathers of Troy and watching my champion run away with the Doppler effect. Just until finally has to fight Achilles, who's like a demigod. So good luck with that. That's like Mickey Mouse trying to fight fucking Captain Planet, and fucking like gets leveled, gets wrecked. Heart's a lame power until you use it to strike fear into the unwitting.
I. You know what? I'm going to call that a very
And then
comprehensive
Achilles, the
retelling.
dick, tied Hector to the chariot and took a victory lap. That's probably where the phrase comes from. Victory lap. With the dead body.
I guess sometimes you just got to take a victory lap.
Don't stab another man's boyfriend. That's all I'm saying. Or I think it was his boyfriend. It might have been his cousin or some shit. I'm not so sure. Hope it's not both. Sean shrugs and just heads down the hall.
Babe's just shaking her head. It lets him go. And slides out to go check on how this conga line's going and whether Kara is joined in or is sulking somewhere and needs perking up. So I suppose we'll end it there.